Welcome to Talk with Kristen with an E, the podcast that's like therapy, but cheaper and way more fun. I'm Kristen, host, storyteller, and occasional overthinker. From making friends to surviving burnout, reminiscing on our younger days and learning how to adult, we'll chat about all life's lessons and laugh in between. So grab your drink, get comfy, and let's talk it out. Hey everyone, so welcome back. I have Alexis with me today, and we are very excited because today we are talking about hair. It's just hair. So
it's true. It's just hair.
It is. So I'll start off. So this came about back when COVID was a thing and we were all stuck in our houses. My husband decided to shave part of my head. It'll be really edgy, look really cool. And I was fine with that because I was done with my hair. Like, I have really thick, wavy hair. I think yours is like that too, Alexis.
Yeah, it's gotten really wavy.
So it would get to a point and I'd be growing it out and like, yay, I have my curls, I'm scrunching, everything's great. And it would get past a point, I'd be like, this is terrible. I hate my hair. I want it all gone. So he was like, let's just shave half your head. I was like, okay, I'm not going anywhere. I'm not seeing anyone. Let's do it. So we shaved like the one side of my head. So it was like parted on the side. So I had the shaved part and then a parted like on the other side was the hair. And it was pretty good. So I did that for a while. He's like, why don't we just shave it all off? I'm like, fine, let's just shave it all off. And he took out his little like buzz cutter things and then all my hair was gone and it was just gone. And it was really scary. This was the middle of summer and I'd gone to the pool and my friend Julie was there and she's, oh my gosh, what happened to your hair? And I was like, yeah, I felt, and this is not meant to be disrespectful, but I felt like I was somewhere between cancer patient and Auschwitz survivor. Like it was, it wasn't like, I wasn't bald, but the hair was so short. It was just like, oh my gosh, where did it go?
And it's not probably not like an edgy style at this point. It's probably just like a straight buzz cut.
Yes, it was like when people have had chemo and their hair all falls out and then it starts growing back slowly and they like go through their stages where there's like just a little bit of hair. It was that short. And I had never had hair shorter than my chin. When I was in 7th grade, I got lice. And so I had to get all my hair cut really short. And that was quite terrible because it was way shorter than I had ever thought. So yeah, but what I'd learned from it, though, is like it started growing back and then I'd go through different phases and it's, oh, this is cute. Now I have this cute little pixie. And then it was like, okay, now everything's growing out more. And now I'm in my headband phase and I was using headbands to push it back. And now I'm in my hair clip phase. And so I got to go through these different phases and really get to experience different stages of my hair and what I could do with it, what I liked about it. I was also coloring it, but that's a whole other story. We'll get to that in a minute. So, Alexis, tell me a hair story you have.
So, I always have the mindset when I go get my hair cut, like I don't care what they do within reason. Mm-hmm. And even if they mess it up, I always say, it's just hair will grow back because the reality is my hair grows incredibly fast.
Yes.
And so I don't really have a problem with that. And I've always loved my hair. It's the one thing that I've actually always loved until COVID happened. Because the first time I had COVID, it was the first or second time, I don't know. But I had COVID for sure, like the summer of 2021. Okay. And I was so sick. I had a fever of 102 for 10 days. And at this time, the doctors wouldn't see me. It was just take ibuprofen or NyQuil. It was so bad. I had to go get like a pulse oximeter. My brother-in-law's a paramedic, and they're like, you need to go to the hospital. But I was so sick, I couldn't even fathom getting out of bed to get dressed.
Oh, no.
To even go. And even if I did, I needed help getting in. But they wouldn't have let anybody else in because they weren't letting anybody into the hospital.
Oh, right.
So I was so sick. And my kids were like, this sounds terrible, but they were like feral at this point because
yeah, nobody's there keeping an eye on them. Right.
And they were like, and my husband was sick too. He was not as sick as I was. For some reason, I get really sick. Mm-hmm. But when that happened, because I had a fever so bad, about 3 months later, like I went and got my hair cut. I was finally feeling better, so I went and got my hair cut, and I actually cut like probably 4 inches off, which isn't a lot, but it was. I cut quite a bit off, and within a week of me getting my hair cut, and I have very thick hair. They usually have to thin my hair.
Yep, same.
It started falling out,
Oh,
and I was like, "Oh, I don't usually I actually don't usually shed. My hair doesn't usually shed." That I know people are like, "Oh, I'm sure you go through a shedding phase." I really don't. It just doesn't happen. And so after I have like after I've had my babies, I have a couple times, but it started falling out.
oh my
And
gosh.
it was, at first it was like a little bit, and then it was handfuls in the shower. I got rid of 3 trash can fulls of my hair, and I
What?
had bald spots. Yes. I was like, my family's, and finally, the doctors, oh, it's because you had COVID and you had a fever for 10 days. And I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
It doesn't though.
And
What did you kill the hair cells or something? Like,
so your body, typically, even if you go through surgery, sometimes if you go through surgery and stuff like that, it's like a trauma response because your body's so
oh,
like focused on trying to heal that it just
yes.
lets your
Yeah, it
hair
shuts
go.
down
And so
other
you just,
processes. Okay.
yes. And so that's what they said happened. So then I started growing in, which was fine, but my hair was stick straight. So
Oh,
then, because I permed it before I went to college, so you probably saw
I
it curly,
did.
but
You were
it's
curly.
normally
Yes.
stick straight. Yeah, I permed it before I went to college. That's in a whole story before that. But it's very stick straight, so it started growing in, and it was like perfect, like ringlets when it was growing in. But so the hair, like the 25% or maybe 30% that didn't fall out, I literally couldn't. I had to wrap like a ponytail around my hair like 6 or 7 times when normally I can only do 2 times around it.
Oh,
So
wow.
I had lost a ton of hair. And so I had stick straight hair, and then I had curly hair, and it was like, it took me 3 years. It's finally back to where it's all like normal, and I'm not trying to grow hair back in, and it's weighted now, so it's not curly, but it's wavy
Mm-hmm.
now. So I don't know. And I also think probably hormones, like when you start going through menopause or
Yes.
perimenopause, it starts getting curly. And I think that's where I'm at. Yeah, so I didn't love my hair for 3 years, and it was really hard. I could go to the salon and I'm like, I don't even know what to do, but can you try to blend all this stuff that's growing
Right.
in? And people were shocked, and I'm like, this is what happens when you have a fever for 10 days and the doctor won't see you. So
Wow.
yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, I
Yeah.
I do shed a lot. I joke that if I'm ever anywhere where a crime happens, they're gonna come after me for something because my DNA is gonna be everywhere. Because my hair falls out everywhere, and it's pretty bad. I don't think there's anything wrong with me. I just
Yeah.
think I have a lot of hair.
I think it's actually abnormal not to shed,
Okay.
but I think everybody goes through that. I just don't for some reason. Like you might get like 10 hairs here or there, but it's not. I know that people go through have a lot more, but
Yeah.
I'm just lucky and I haven't. But I also don't color my hair. I don't do. It's pretty healthy, so maybe that's why. I don't know.
Have you ever colored your hair?
Yeah, in college.
Okay.
So yeah, it is. And now like we're getting to that point where I'm starting to get grays, and
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know what to do. And I feel like I have this societal pressure. Do I color my hair or do I not? And I just don't want the upkeep. That sounds lame, but I really don't. And so I struggle with this. Like, how do women make that decision whether they're going to color their hair or not? And why, as a society, do we deem men can have gray hair? My husband has
Mm-hmm.
gray hair and he looks fine. But
Yeah,
why
we
do
like
we have to?
applaud it. We're like, oh, he's such a
Right,
silver fox. Oh, look at all his gray
right,
hair. Look at his beard with the gray hair. Mm. Yeah, and it's, oh my gosh, look
exactly.
at that old hag over there. What is she doing with her hair? That's how we treat women, right? Ugh.
Right.
Should really do something
And
with your hair.
yeah, why do we do that? Why do we feel like the Bible talks about silver hair is it's wisdom. It's like gray hair is wisdom, but what? So I don't know. I'm struggling with that. I'm almost 40, so do I color? Do I not? I
Yeah,
keep picking them out, but there's going to get a point where you can only do that so much.
yeah, it's so hard. So I have lots to say on the color. I'll start with this. I have several friends, acquaintances, people I know, that have gone, females, women, that have gone like the full gray silver hair. And it looks so good on them. Like it is so pretty. Like it's actually really like silver and nice. It looks great. And then I have my friend Amy had recently just done it. I think it was like a year or two ago. And she's like, all right, I'm going to do it. And yeah, you go through some awkward phases because while you're having your natural color and any of the dyes that you did grow out, there's some awkward phases. But then like the end product is really nice. I am not doing that. And I don't know if it's because I'm vain and and I don't think my gray hairs are pretty. Like mine isn't gray. Mine's like white and they're like scraggly and they're all in the most awkward places. It's not like a pretty blend. And so I'm not comfortable with the way I look with it. But like you said, I am also tired of the upkeep of it. Like it grows out and I'm like, ugh, I really should do something with my hair, but there's so much work that goes into it. I don't know. For a long time, I was doing a lot of different colors too. I think it was 2017 or 2018. I started doing purple hair and I did purple for a long time. I was like the girl with the purple hair and it was like my thing. And then I started doing some other colors, and this was a fun story too. I had switched from purple to pink, and I had a really hot pink color, and I got promoted at work. And I remember a friend of mine was like, I was so impressed that you got promoted because you had pink hair, and that people could get to the level that you were at with hot pink hair really said something to me. I'm like, that's really cool because it's a place where it shouldn't matter. It's just hair. It should be a way to express your personality. And if you want purple hair or pink hair or yellow hair or green hair or whatever, what does it matter? Your work should speak for itself if you're still being respectful and competent, and who cares? But after I shaved my head the first time, then I started experimenting with different colors. I tried blue, I hated it. I tried green, I hated it. I did red, and it was like a Ronald McDonald red when I first did it.
Oh no.
Yeah. So at the time, and I still love this product. So this isn't anything against them. Arctic Fox, they're a vegan permanent color dye, and it's great. Smells great, goes on great, works really great. But the red shade that I used was so red. So I blended some purple in it. It was more of a burgundy. That one was good. I liked that. But really, it was the pinks and purples that I liked the most. And then I ended up going bleach blonde the summer of, I have no concept of time, but I went blonde one time and like bleach blonde, which I thought looked really good. I was like, oh my gosh, I love this. I love being a blonde. Blondes do have more fun. This is so wonderful. I look back on pictures now, I'm like, ooh, not my best choice. It wasn't great. But at the time, I loved it. I was tan because I was tanning. It was summer. I just felt like I was the hottest thing ever. Look at me in my tan skin and my blonde hair. But again, it just became too much and my hair was getting longer. And my husband was doing it because I'm cheap. So I wasn't paying for anybody to do my hair. I was having it done at home and he did a great job. He
Of
could
course.
blend colors. Oh my gosh, he was so good. But he kept saying the longer your hair gets, the harder it is to bleach it, which also I was using Arctic Fox vegan bleach. So it wasn't as hard on my hair. But he's the longer it gets, it's going to take too long. This is too much, blah, blah, blah. And then I ended up going back to like a brown color. So I've done like browns. I've done cherry browns. I've just been regular colors now. And my husband, he's miss your purple hair. I really think you should go back to purple hair. But I was just like, the bleaching and the upkeep, it's so much work.
Is it? And that's what I always wonder because I have my mom. She's always colored her hair.
Mm-hmm.
From the time I was younger, she's always colored it, and she's always colored it blonde. Although as she's gotten older, it's not. She doesn't have blonde. It's more. She's got some low lights in there, and I always just think she goes in every 6 to 8 weeks, and I'm thinking, first of all, it's gotten stinking expensive
So
to do that.
expensive. I know.
It is insane. Like I don't even know. And secondly, I just don't have time. And honestly, I really don't want to spend my time sitting in a salon chair for them to do that. That probably sounds really lame, but I think that's my holdback. Also, I want to age gracefully. I don't do fillers. I don't do all that stuff. And I just want it to be like acceptable. And I want my girls to think it's really okay to age the way God wanted you to age. But then I also don't want people to look at me and be like, you're 40, like you look like you're 60.
Oh,
Although
you do
that's
not look like you're 60. You look like 40. That's crazy.
Yeah, I don't think I would have that problem anyways because I really don't have that many grays.
Mm-hmm.
But it's just funny because society has made it this thing. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So the salon thing, the price is a lot. And my thing isn't the sitting in the chair. Mine's the awkward, do I make conversation? Do I talk to them? Do I talk back? Because, you hear the people who are like, oh, yeah, beauty salon, that's where all the gossip is. Like, and only stuff you tell your hairstylist. And maybe I just haven't found somebody that, like, I connect to that. But like I always just feel awkward talking. Like they're blow drying and you're like, you can't even
Yep.
hear me. But the part that I do enjoy though is having them wash my hair. Like leaning back in that sink and they're like massaging your head. Like I could do that. I would go to a place and just have somebody wash my hair just for like the relaxation of
You
it.
should. I don't know if they have them there, but I feel like this might just be a Utah thing. They have these dry bars where you can go and get your hair washed.
Yes,
You would
I do think
probably
they
like
have them.
that.
And I feel like I've seen something on Facebook too. It's like a water head massage or something that you can go and get at like spas or something. I would totally do that too. That seems like that would be so relaxing. I would love that.
Yeah.
But also the other part about the aging gracefully and the society. And I know we're talking about hair, but since you said fillers, can we talk about this for a minute too?
Of course.
Okay. You're like, yeah, Kristen, it's your podcast, whatever, we'll talk. But no, I do feel like there's that struggle of what is socially acceptable and what are we doing because we want to do it or what are we doing because other people are doing it. Okay, so what are your thoughts? So you haven't done fillers, but what are your thoughts on it or any like cosmetic procedures like that?
So I have a lot that I could say on this. So if you just interrupt me at any point.
Okay.
I personally have terrible skin. I don't know what it is. When I got pregnant with my twins, I have just had terrible skin since then.
Mm.
I feel like it's hormonal, but I also recently found out I have EDS, which is like a whole thing. I don't even want to get into that, but it also contributes to like acne. So I just honestly thought that nobody else has bad skin until I was talking to a friend and they're like, you do know, like everybody on social media uses a filter. When they're talking to you, they're using a filter and that's not their normal face. And I don't, because first of all, I don't do that. And so I'm like, no, I would just use a filter, but it makes so much sense. So I just have always, for the past 3 or 4 years, I've felt really bad. To be honest, I don't have the money to go spend hundreds of dollars on all the skincare and dermatologists and everything like that. So I just deal with it. And my husband's happy with me. I've found just like the confidence just to deal with it. Okay.
Yeah.
And so looking at everybody's stuff, I just assumed everybody goes and gets filler and things like this from social media. And I think that's the case. You have to remember, I live in Idaho. Utah is just right below. Like we're 3 hours from Salt Lake, okay?
Yeah, and I've seen The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. I know what Utah girls are like.
Just that, but that's like, this is just like a common actual thing. Like there is a whole book and they actually probably do more plastic surgery, I feel like, than some other places. So there is a ton of plastic surgery and fillers and stuff here. And to me, I don't love it, but it comes from I tend to be crunchy. It comes from, I just don't think it's good for your body. I know some people use Botox, like I have family members that get migraines and they use it for that, and I get that. But I think it's toxic. I also don't love like implants. You are going to find, in fact, my sister was consulting with plastic surgeon in the past year, and you are going to find that they are going to stop doing implants, I would say, in the next 10 or 15 years, because so many women are getting them taken back out because they're literally creating autoimmune issues.
Really?
Your body isn't meant to have foreign objects in it like that. And they break down and it makes them incredibly sick. So I look at it from that. But then I look at other things where I think it could be good. I really think women should be given the option, and their insurance should pay for if they need a tummy tuck, because it's not just a tummy tuck like after they have kids. It's literally fixing your stomach muscles.
Yeah.
And I personally would do that. I've had 5 kids, and twins were my last set, like my
Mm-hmm.
last pregnancy. And I think it would solve a lot of the issues that we have of as we age. You can't jump on a trampoline because you're going to pee your pants, or sneezing and coughing
Mm-hmm.
and you pee your pants. That's not normal. Other countries don't have that because they work on pelvic floor or they have surgeries. And I do think that those could be beneficial. But I come at it from more of, I just don't think it's good for your body kind of a thing, not necessarily like your vein or anything like that, because to each their own. If that's what makes them feel good,
Right.
then that's what makes them feel good. For me, it's just not something I would. Now, maybe if I had more money, I would look at it differently, but let's be real, I do not have the money for any of that either.
Right.
So that's how I feel about it.
No, and I think that's a normal take on it. I think mine is I think it just scares me too much. Like just the thought of needles, and if you're getting like basically plastic in your face, like there's just, to me, I'm like, ugh, I don't, it just scares me too much. So
I get that.
yeah. So I have relatively good skin, I think. I haven't had acne, I haven't had any of those issues. And I've been lately using snail mucin, which apparently Koreans use, and they have very nice skin.
Yep.
And my husband makes fun of me. He's like, "You don't know what those snail secretions come from. You're putting snail sperm on your face." Dude, I don't care. If it keeps these fine wrinkles at bay and makes my skin looking good, I don't care what part of the snail it came from. It is working. At least I think it's working. So I've been using it for almost a year now. Not exclusively. I have a pretty hefty skin regimen, and I'm not using sunscreen as much as I should. Also, for anybody listening, here's a PSA. Don't just use sunscreen on your face. Put it on your neck, your chest, and your hands, because I am dealing with my
Exactly.
old lady hands, and I don't have sunspots yet, but I look at my hands. I'm like, oh, my old lady hands. And like, it's something I'm actually very self-conscious about. Yeah. So sunscreen
That's
everywhere.
true. What's funny too is I use beef tallow on my face
Oh, yeah.
because, well, but I don't actually worry about wrinkles because I don't have a terrible amount of them.
Mm-hmm.
But with EDS, it gives you loose skin. So
Oh,
my hands have all like crepey loose skin. I will never be able to get rid of that. It's just what it is. And it makes sense as to why I have had so many stretch marks, just even from
mm-hmm.
getting too tall too fast. Sometimes you can do everything in the world and you're still just going to be stuck with your genetics.
And the hand thing, I'm like, this is why people in the olden days wore gloves all the time. Let's bring that
Mm-hmm.
trend. Let's start wearing decorative gloves all the time so that nobody has to see my old lady hands. Um, but that's something I struggle with. But to your point, though, the society thing and the social media thing, that's what kills me, because even in my head, like I say, this isn't real. This isn't what this person looks like. And like the knowledge part of my brain knows that. But the part of my brain that has like all the feelings and emotions is, she's so much prettier than you are. You don't look like that. People don't like you. I can't get out of my head though, because I don't look like these perfect things on social media, that I feel like I'm not good enough. And maybe that's partly why I'm still dyeing my hair and I'm still wearing makeup. I love makeup. That's a whole other topic on its own. But I do think it's a struggle. And I don't know how we as a society get past that. And I do think, have you seen the thing, Pamela Anderson, Pamela Lee, whatever you want to call her? She and
Yeah,
some others have been doing that thing where, this is me. This is without my hair. This is without my makeup on. This is just what I look like. Have you seen those things going around?
I haven't. I probably should because that would probably make me feel better because I honestly hate wearing anything but mascara.
Oh,
And I just want to walk out the door and not feel like I have to. I always just feel like I have so much caked on my face if I do more than that. So I don't love it. So I don't know.
you need
I
to
need
get
to find
yourself
something and
some
look.
Mary Kay CC cream. I got a girl if you need it. But I've got it down to, I want to say it's a 5-minute face, but a little CC cream, a little bronzer, eyeshadow, mascara, a quick wand through your eyebrows, and lip color of your choice. Bam, done.
Maybe I'll have to. Yes, we'll do that. But the other thing is, I also don't leave every day. Keep that in mind. I work from home
Oh, that's
and I
true.
homeschool my kids. It's really silly for me to buy makeup to use one day a month. And then like your mascara, you open it and you need to toss it in 2 or 3 months. So
Yeah.
it rarely gets used. And that sounds silly, but that's my life.
I don't think that's silly at all. I think you've got what works for you. And I think that, and then maybe you do the gray hair then. And maybe you're like, you know what? Lots of people aren't seeing me anyway. So let me do it.
Sometimes I feel bad. Like I should actually like dress up. I tell myself that maybe if I put jeans on and dressed up every day, I would feel better. But the reality is I spend so much time in the kitchen cooking and on the floor,
Hmm.
like with kids and stuff like that. What's the point? What's the point?
I don't know, but I love how you said I should put jeans on and dress up. The fact that those two, like in my mind, wearing jeans is one style and dressing up is a different one. So it's funny for me that you're like, I should put jeans on and dress up. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's an option.
When you wear like sweats or joggers every day, or okay, in the summer, I
Yes.
love summer dresses. So I actually
Yes.
do wear dresses most of the summer because it's cooler and I have a couple that I just love them. So in the summer, I actually do wear dresses a lot.
Okay. So now I want to talk about this
Even
dress
in the
thing.
garden.
I love that. I love that. So let's talk about dresses for a minute, Alexis. We've come so many topics we've hit here. Okay.
I know.
I want to talk about dresses for a minute because you and I were raised similarly, I believe. I was in Christian
Yes.
school my whole life where I always had to wear a skirt to class, it had to be below my knees. Like I always had to be dresses and skirts. Was yours the same way? Or,
I did not start going to a Christian school until sixth grade. And
okay.
so I went from public school to having to wear a dress or a skirt
Hmm.
every day. And that was a bit of a culture shock. Let's just put it that way.
Okay. So we had to do that. And then the college Lexus and I went to together, it was a similar dress code, skirts and
Hmm.
dresses for class. You could wear pants out or whatever. So I had to wear skirts and
Except
dresses
for
my
when you
whole
went
life.
to eat, then you had to put a dress on, which was so
Oh,
stupid.
to
That's
go to the
beside the point.
cafeteria. Oh,
Yeah,
I
to go to
forgot
Casper.
about that.
I
Oh,
know. Like,
yeah.
I
Did we
mean,
have
even on
to on
Saturday
weekends
morning.
too?
Yes, we had to get up and we could wear a jean skirt only
That's
on
right.
like on Saturday. Oh, I was so annoyed, but
I
that's
don't
beside the
remember
point.
ever eating on a Saturday. I'm sure I wasn't getting up for breakfast, and I feel like I was always out on Saturdays. I don't remember eating on Saturdays.
You probably didn't, but Jesse and I did.
Okay. Well,
We
anyway,
did.
I'm getting so sidetracked. But so, like, my whole life, I had to wear skirts and dresses. And when I got to my adult
Mhm.
life, it was like, I'm not doing this anymore. I can wear what I want.
Mhm.
Here I am now, 40 ish, 41 and a half. And I love wearing skirts and dresses. I have started wearing skirts and dresses to work again now. And I think it's so funny because work recently published a dress code last year, which I fought against, not fought in a bad way. They asked for comments, I provided comments. And it bothered me. And this is what I told
Fair.
people that the reason it bothered me is because my whole life I was restricted on what I could and couldn't wear. And I'm like, I'm an adult now. I shouldn't be told what I can and can't wear. And it wasn't even a super restrictive dress code. It was more like the intent of it. But now to look back, I'm like, but I love wearing skirts and dresses. So like you said, in the summer, that's almost completely what I'm in. I have so many maxi dresses
Mhm.
and maxi skirts all summer. It's dresses all because it's also cooler than wearing pants and more comfortable than
Mhm.
shorts sometimes. And even at work, like anytime it's nice, I'm like, that's it. I'm wearing a skirt. Or days that I shave my legs, I wear a skirt or dress too because I've done the work and I feel like it warrants that my legs should be shown. But
Yeah, no, I get it. And that's the funny part of it because I don't know. I sew a lot of my clothes. Here, I sound so ridiculous. I
you're
used to
adorable.
sew. I know, but so I do sew, and that's my favorite thing is to make dresses
Mm-hmm.
and I always wear they're knits, so I
Mm-hmm.
love to just make quick, simple dress, and I don't know. It's nice to wear a dress in the summer, at least for here. It just gets so hot that I'd rather just wear a dress than try to wear shorts or jeans. But
Yeah, and the humidity too. So I still have 3 or 4 of the dresses you made, and I continue to get compliments on them, and it's so fun. I wore one a couple months ago, and a friend of mine, she's like, "Oh, is that a so and so?" I don't even know what like brand, style, whatever, designer. She said a design. Is that so and so dress? I'm like, no, it's actually an Alexis dress, and she was like, "Oh, I'm not familiar with her." I'm like, "Yeah, it's very elite."
that's hilarious. I forgot that I used to send you all my stuff because I was sewing for work so
Mm-hmm.
much that I had too many and I would just make stuff and send it to you. I forgot
Yes.
about that.
And they're perfect because, like you said, they're very lightweight. They're very, like, forgiving of the parts of my body that I don't love that they cover up.
Mm-hmm.
They're just amazing. So, yeah, I'd take a
It's
dress again
funny.
if you have dresses that you made that you don't want anymore.
You know what? I probably do, so it doesn't matter. My goal this year is to sew more because I hadn't been sewing very much really
Yeah,
since
I'll
we
send you my
moved, and
measurements. I'm just
you
kidding.
should honestly. No, I'm not even joking. You shouldn't.
I love
I'll
that.
have to make you some. So, but yeah, that's hilarious. Oh my word, why did I forget that? It's like you forgetting having to wear a skirt to Cathcart.
I know. Like, I have zero recollection of that. I know we did on Sundays because Sunday was also chicken finger day.
Ugh.
Like, after church, we'd
And
go
you
and
had to
have.
wear nylons the day
That was
in the
terrible.
Florida humidity and heat.
Yeah. I like to think that
Yeah,
that gave us some kind of value or taught us some lesson, but no,
it
I don't.
did.
I don't
It did.
think did it. Okay, if you say so.
Maybe. You at least, okay, so I think their reasoning always was when you get into a business place, you need to know how to dress properly. And you know how to dress properly for work now. So there you go.
That's true, and
You
I
did
can
learn.
probably tell you the times on one hand that I have actually worn pantyhose. No, I'll wear tights. I will wear cute and stylish tights, especially in the fall and winter. I will not wear pantyhose. I don't know why it's different to me, but like tights are like thicker and
No,
more
there's a difference.
comfortable, and nylons. Ugh.
Yeah,
And
no,
I think
there's a
you're right.
difference.
I thought the same thing with like how we had to dress, not wear jeans. We had to wear like khakis or whatever, nice pants when we go out off campus too. And I've actually thought about that. I'm like, it's probably because they were trying to teach us like business casual without saying it was
Mm-hmm.
business casual. But I don't know.
Which is funny because business casual is so different even from now than what it used to be.
Oh, yeah. Everything's changed. You can wear, to your point, jeans are dress up now also. So
They are that's my
anything
dress up
goes.
when I go to church. I'm wearing jeans. They're nice jeans. They're not like wholly janky jeans like that. I don't know. There's a difference. Like I have t-shirt kind of jeans, and then you have like nice sweater or blouse jeans.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes, totally, totally. And Jesus would love you even if you were in janky jeans. So don't worry about
True.
it.
That's true. That's very
Well,
true.
Alexis, we have been all around. We've talked about hair and makeup and cosmetic stuff and skin products and clothing. We've been on an adventure today.
It's been a lot. I don't know that we weren't really planning on that when we started, but I like it.
No, that's why I said I'm like, we're just gonna see where it goes. And I'm pretty happy with where it went. So any final thoughts as we close this episode?
Just be comfortable in who you are and don't feel like you have to spend lots of money to change and look good for society.
Whoa. Yeah.
I know.
That's so
It's
hard though.
it's hard.
But we're going to work on it. This is something we're
Yep.
going to focus on. We are going to focus on being grateful and thankful for the bodies that we have and for aging gracefully and for being comfortable in our own skin and not caring what other people think and not feeling like we
No.
have to filter ourselves for society.
Yeah. You can take care of your body, but you shouldn't have to filter it to make it look different, because the reality is somebody else probably looks just like you and they may have an insecurity. So if you just show who you are, maybe that helps them too.
Yeah. And after all, it's just hair.
It's true.
All
True.
right. Thanks, Alexis. We'll talk later.
All right. Bye.
Thanks for spending time with me on Talk with Kristen with an E, where it's always cheaper than therapy. If you enjoyed today's chat, don't forget to subscribe. And hey, let's keep these conversations going. You can find me on Instagram at Talk with Kristen with an E. Let me know what's on your mind. Until next time, take care of yourself. And remember, life is always better when we talk it out.